Hey, what's up guys? Today I got this barber video I want to show you guys, and this is a new kind of format. I am going to be showing you guys the entire haircut, and I'm going to be talking about it. I'll let you guys know what I'm doing, what tools I'm using, but with this kind of method and this kind of style of recording, I will be able to produce way more videos of barber videos. And then you guys actually get to see me from start to finish on my haircut, which then can help out a lot. And if you guys do have any questions at all, just leave it in the comment below. I will make sure I'll answer all your questions. Other than that, you guys, let me know how you like this new format. Let's start the video. All right, so starting with the client, you always, you cape them, you make sure everything is good, make sure you use a static strip too. So with this haircut, I talked to the client and he wants a medium skin fade, kind of like a medium high, and in the back he wants it to come down to like a point. So what I'm doing right here is I'm using my strongest machine, which is my Oster Octane. This is a wireless metal guard clipper, which is my strongest one, and I'm just putting on a number 1 metal guard and I'm just taking down the bolts. I don't care about the guideline, I'm not looking for anything, I'm just taking down the hair so I can start the skin fade. By taking down these bolts, it will be easier on my machine. So that's just what I'm doing right now. This process shouldn't be any longer than 20 seconds. Do not take too long on this, you guys. It's just taking down the bolts. Don't make it perfect, just take it down. And right now, I use my T-liner. I use my T-liner to create my first guideline. This is where I put my medium skin fade guideline. So I'm making sure it looks good. I'm making sure that every hair on the bottom of the guideline is cut. So when you're doing this and cutting the guideline, just make sure you get all the hair. Don't leave anything because you're already there. If you're already there, cut all the hair. You don't want to come back for it later and then miss a spot. Just make sure you cut everything underneath the guideline. And you see that I do drop it really low in the back, and that's because he wants the pointy back. And in order to do that, I have to drop it this low. Normally it would be a lot higher than this. See that? There it is. Now I am using my shaver and I am shaving the bottom of it. I usually use the shaver right after I set the first guideline because I just wanted to get that part out of the way. I've seen a lot of people that use the shaver at the end of their entire haircut. Well, I believe that using it in the beginning is the easiest way because you still know where the shaver is supposed to be. When you use it at the end, you kind of lose it, and because your fade could be really well done, then you don't really know where the guideline starts and where it ends, and then you can make a whole new line and destroy your whole work. So if you use the shaver in the beginning, you get that out of the way. So when you're using the shaver, make sure you shave every single hair in the bottom. Run your finger through it. If you feel stubble, use the shaver on it. Make sure you do not feel nothing. No stubble, nothing. It should just be skin. This part is very important, you guys. It just shows you how much detail you put into your work. Now, I'm using this machine. No guard at all. I'm opening it and creating my next guideline. As you can see, there's the first line from the T-liner and the second line from this machine. I open it up and create my next guideline. It's not something you need to take a long time to do. This right here is I'm taking back the T-liner and I'm hitting a spot that I see. As I'm creating my guideline, I see this line that a T-liner would be able to take out. So I use my T-liner and take it out. I don't wait until I finish the haircut. I just kind of use it right away, get rid of it before I move on. So this is where I'm blending out that bottom line. Creating a guideline isn't that important. You don't need to make the perfect line. It just needs to be there, and that's it. Once the line is blended out, I pop on my 1 guard and I open it up and I take down this bulk right here and making sure the rest of it's a 1 open, which for me is like a 1.5. Once that's done, I pop on my half guard and I play around with the lever. I start with, close, I'll bring it up and I'll go medium and then I'll open it all the way. Anything that's needed to take out that line. So I closed it and the line is still there. And it can't go any shorter than close. So I take back this clipper and I'm getting rid of that bottom line. Now I'm clipper over combing. This technique right here requires you to just do it. To learn this technique, you have to just do it. There are a few things you need to look for, and that is making sure the shape is correct. And the comb is what dictates the shape. So you always want to keep the comb up, straight up. Don't bend it in, don't make it at a different angle that it would leave a hole inside the head. This part is very scary, but once you get it down, it can make your life a lot easier. So you can still see marks and you still see lines. After I clip over comb, this is usually what I do. I'll grab my 1 guard, I'll open it up, and I'll hit the line that I see. Instead of trying to clip over comb that line out, which takes a lot more time, this method saves a lot of time. And by doing this, all I have to do is just open it and then close it a little bit if I need to, and close it all the way if I really have to. And then I bring back the clip over comb and I just clip over comb again. So this method just keeps repeating itself until the work is done. Sometimes I'll bring back the 1 again just to make sure that I get it done. I always brush out the hair from my client, especially if I'm working in that area. I want to make it clean. I don't want a hair to be sitting around and distracting me, because sometimes you don't know if it's already cut or not. Anyways, I usually do the entire haircut around the entire head, but this time I'm doing it one side at a time. I feel like it's an easier way to show you guys. So on this side, I'm repeating the same steps. I'm using this tool, I'm opening it up, make my first guideline, and then immediately I take it out with closing it and whatever's needed to take out the bottom guideline. And then my next thing is a 1 guard open. So I'm making this next guideline, taking down the bulk as well as making this next guideline. After that, I pop on my half guard. This half guard is my favorite guard. This guard right here is what blends everything together for me. So right now, I'm just getting rid of that line. I'm closing it, I'm opening it midway, I'm opening it all the way. Whatever's needed to take this line out. And as you can see, sometimes the half guard won't be able to take out a line. Like, I can see a line right there. Sometimes it just happens that way, and you just gotta work with whatever you can with the half guard and then take something lower. Like right now, the no guard. That's lower than my half. So I'm taking that and I'm hitting up lines that the half guard couldn't do. I'm not spending too much time to figure that out either. I immediately get rid of the half guard and just do no guard, and I go at it right away. There's no point in continuing using the half guard over and over and over. Clipper over comb time on this thing. So when I'm clipper over combing, it's, I'm just worrying about the shape. The shape is the most important part. Then I bring back my 1 guard, 1 open, 1 close, whatever's needed. You see my hand constantly tapping that lever. And then I'll just play around with it. I'll look at what I need, and maybe I'll go down 1 more lever. So now I'm in a half guard. I take this half guard and I'm blending it. I'm making sure that I'm getting rid of lines that the one guard couldn't do. Open, close, whatever's needed, you guys. You will constantly see me open, close, open, close. See how the back comes to a point? Well, now I work on the back. So I take the one open and I take out that bolt and make sure that, you know, I'm making both sides even. That's the most important part. You know, both sides has to be the same. And then I grab my half guard and I blend. I take it out on that line that I just made. It's a constant routine of taking out lines and adding lines and then taking that line out. So I see a line over on this side and I get rid of it right away. I don't wait till later. I don't want to finish the whole haircut and then realize that line is there. Whatever you see, just take it out and get rid of it. You shouldn't spend too much time on it. It shouldn't take so long. After that, you clip over comb. Notice how I hold my comb. It's angled to the point. It's not straight, it's the whole comb is angled to the hair. And that's how you should clip over comb it. To keep the shape, you need to clip over comb it in that direction. And if I was going to do the other side, I would flip my comb on the other side and make sure that it goes downward. And again, you guys, after clip over comb, I bring down my one guard, I open, I close, and I clean up just the dark areas so it doesn't stay so dark. Remember, with a fade, you need to see the white, the gray, and the black. Now I bring down my half guard and I'm making sure that I get up all the lines that I need. Now I'm clip over combing. See how I'm doing this side? I'm flipping the comb. Now I come up to the front and I look. I want to make sure that I don't see any lines. Looking at the front is very important. And I check the sides. Okay. I look, I walk around. As I'm walking around, I'm not just walking around. I'm walking around, I'm looking at the haircut. I want to make sure that I get everything. Everything I do has a meaning to it. So if I'm walking around a client, I'm not just walking around them. I'm keeping my eyes on the hair. I'm making sure I don't see any lines from any angles at all. Because if I do, I will get rid of it. So on this side, I felt like I needed some work. A little bit more work. Take a step back, look at it from afar, and then do a little more work where I see. Take a step back, walk around, look at the same spot. This is what is needed. You have to take a step back. You have to look at it from different angles to make sure you get the line out. Now, it's cutting the top. So his top is blended on both sides and he wants it short. To blend on both sides, that just means there's no hanging on any direction. This is almost like a regular haircut. So just make sure nothing hangs. I always start with the front. I take out what I need and I use that as the guideline for my next cut. So I comb it back and I cut. I continue to do this all the way up to at least 8 times. At least 8 times. Remember my last video, I don't know if you guys seen it. If you guys haven't, I will leave it right here. Check that video out. This is how to cut the top. It's very important. So this video right now is basically showing you that I'm cutting the top and showing you how he likes his top cut. Doesn't show you how to cut the top because I have a video on that already. Just check that video out first if you guys have any questions. At least 8 times, front to back, and then I do it from the side. I use the middle as a guideline and I use the front as a guideline, and I'm cutting this. And then one more, I angle my hands. You can tell I angle it right there, and I angle it enough where it looks like it'll blend to the side. And just like that, you can move all the way over to make sure everything is blended. And you work on this side. The same thing you did on the other side, just do the exact same method. Don't skip steps. Do not do faster than 8. Don't do 4 up here. Do not do 4 cuts because it's gonna mess up the hair. I've done this in the past and that's how I know. So this is just all learning experience that I've learned throughout my years, and I'm trying to show you guys so you guys don't have the same problem. So with this side, since I'm right-handed, it's very awkward to do. So I go to the front and I comb backward. And then once I'm done with that, I clip over comb. And then once I'm done with that, I scissor over comb, making sure that everything is blended on this side. That's another way of doing it, by the way. Comb everything to the front, making sure it's all blended. Here I see something, so I'm scissor over combing it. My scissor over comb technique is not the best in the world. You can tell the way I'm holding the scissor and the way I'm cutting it, it's not the best, but it works. And now I'm scissor over combing over the front to make sure everything is even. Comb it down. I see a little bit here. I cut that to make sure that's even, and then everything looks good. But you can tell on the right side, you see that how it's longer? This is when I notice it. Boom, right there. So that's when I come over and I cut it. Just make sure everything is good. Cut, then freehand it, cut a little bit, scissor comb a little bit more, making sure everything is good to go. After that, blow drying everything off, cleaning up the cape, cleaning up the client, making sure he doesn't get out with hair all over himself. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of every single strand because that's almost impossible, but get it rid of as much as you can. See how I'm moving? It's a fast movement. Don't take too much time. Anything you're taking time off, you're taking time off somewhere. 45 minutes is something I would think that you need to be finished by. That's like the max that you need to be finished by, is about 45 minutes. I usually try to get my clients out 30 minutes. That's where I would like. Sometimes I finish faster because I'm so used to their hair. I've cut it so many times. Sometimes it takes me a little bit longer, but 30 minutes is the best time to finish by. Okay, so after that, I'm blow drying my client's hair. I'm making sure it's dry and making sure he doesn't leave my chair with soaking wet hair. What I'm doing with the comb is I'm just lifting the hair. So when you lift the hair and you blow dry, it dries faster. When you just leave it down, every hair is just all sewed together that it takes a little bit longer to blow dry. So that's the little tip. Lift the hair. I show my client the mirror, see if he likes it. You know, not all the time it will be perfect. So right here, he's telling me, can I cut some more in the middle? Take down a little bit more. No problem. That's not a problem. That's what we have to do. We have to make sure we get the client happy. We have to make sure that we get him everything he wants. So if he wants a little bit more off the top, sure, it's not a problem. So I cut the top. I'm making sure that, you know, everywhere is even. If I cut the middle there, I have to cut the back. I have to cut the front. Everything has to be cut. But he only wants the back, so all I'm going to do is cut the middle, cut the back, and then blend it to the front, the existing length, which is what I'm doing right here. So I'm going on this side and I'm checking. It's almost like cross-checking. I'm making sure that I get everything correct. So you take your time, get things correctly done. There's no rushing in this. The only way for you to keep your client is to care about his hair, to make sure he comes out looking great. They can tell if you rush the hair. They can tell that you don't care. So love what you do, you guys. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process. Here's what I do. I give him back the mirror. He looks at it. He loves it. And that's it. Enjoy the process, you guys. Do not rush. I hope you guys like what you guys saw. If you guys have any questions, you guys, make sure you leave it in the comment. And I'll make sure I'll post more videos about this. In the meantime, check out these couple videos I have. Maybe you guys will like those too. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.